Let's go Dolphins! Something very strange is happening inside the Miami Dolphins, and if you blink, you'll miss it all. Players who shone in the preseason are being left out without explanation, absurd choices are being made on defense, and the pressure on Anthony Weaver and Mike McDaniel is exploding. If you're a true fan, you need to know what's going on behind the scenes. Click the like button right now * if you've been a Dolphins fan since the Marino era. If possible, comment like Go Dolphins. Never give up. Get ready because what I'm about to tell you is unbelievable. So, let's talk defense. After the Colts debacle, Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, has finally come out and acknowledged what we all saw with our own eyes. This defense needs drastic changes, now. One of the biggest surprises? Linebacker Willie Gay Jr. didn't play a single snap. Not one. This is the same guy who shined throughout joint practices, dominated in preseason, and showed he was ready to be an impact player. And yet, somehow, both he and backup KJ Britt were left on the sidelines while Jordan Brooks and Tyrel Dodson played every snap at linebacker. Let's be real here. Dodson got a 2-year, $8.5 million deal this offseason, but money doesn't always translate to performance. According to everything we've seen during camp and preseason, Gay was outplaying him in every facet of the game. He's faster, more versatile, and clearly a better fit for this defense. Gay can rush off the edge like a hybrid pass rusher, drop back in coverage, and move sideline to sideline with speed we haven't seen in years from this unit. Weaver admitted he needed to fix that mistake, saying he told Gay after the Colts game that he should have been on the field and that it's time to make that right. But the damage is already done. And if he doesn't follow through this Sunday, we've got a serious coaching disconnect. And speaking of fixing mistakes, here comes the next big adjustment. Rookie Dante Trader Jr., the 5th-round pick out of Maryland, barely had a preseason due to injury but still played 22 snaps against the Colts. And guess what? He looked good. Very good. So good, in fact, that Weaver hinted he's on the verge of earning the starting spot next to Minkah Fitzpatrick. Why? Because Ifeatu Melifonwu, who started at safety, was an outright liability. He was targeted 3 times and gave up 3 completions, one being a touchdown. His PFF grades? Abysmal. But worse than the numbers was the eye test. Remember that wide-open will route touchdown to Michael Pittman Jr.? Originally blamed on cornerback Storm Duck? Weaver cleared that up. He put the blame squarely on Melifonwu, who failed to recognize the seam threats and left Duck hung out to dry. That's a critical mental error in cover 2. That's a mistake you just can't make in the NFL. Meanwhile, Trader Jr. allowed 0 receptions, had 2 solid tackles, and made a clutch stop at the goal line on Jonathan Taylor. It's not a question of if he should start, it's why hasn't he already? Fans are already buzzing about this switch, and if Weaver wants to keep this locker room bought in, he better hand the keys over to the rookie now. Next up, let's look at the trenches. Benito Jones is likely out this week due to an oblique injury, and Weaver announced that Zeke Biggers, a 7th-round rookie out of Georgia Tech, will be next man up at nose tackle. Now, this raises some eyebrows, because from what we've seen, Jordan Phillips should clearly be the backup nose. He played 33 snaps against the Colts, 18 of them at nose tackle. Biggers? He wasn't even active. And in the preseason, Phillips took way more A-gap snaps, the traditional nose tackle role, while Biggers mostly lined up over the guards. So, is Weaver just trying to light a fire under Phillips? Or did he just get this one wrong? We'll find out on Sunday. But if the run defense collapses again, you'll know where to point the finger. All this chaos comes back to one undeniable truth. When a defense is this bad, changes aren't optional, they're mandatory. And yes, some of these adjustments are injury-related, but others are simply overdue corrections to bad decisions made in Week 1. Weaver also has to reevaluate his play calling. The Dolphins led the NFL in blitz rate in Week 1, yet still couldn't generate consistent pressure or hold up in coverage. That's a red flag. Coverage schemes need to change too. Miami ran cover 2 zone 36% of the time, more than any other team in the league, but didn't mix in any 2-high man coverage at all. That's unacceptable. You need variety. You need unpredictability. Instead, Miami looked predictable and overwhelmed. Because let's be honest here, if these changes don't happen now, it's going to be a long and painful season. This is not just about rebounding from one embarrassing loss. This is about setting the tone for the rest of the year. It's about accountability. And that starts with Anthony Weaver and Mike McDaniel making the tough calls, not protecting egos or sticking with what clearly isn't working. Let's revisit the linebacker situation. You cannot let a guy like Willie Gay Jr., who was arguably your best linebacker in the preseason, rot on the bench while Tyrel Dodson struggles to contain anyone in the middle of the field. We're talking about a player who brings both speed and aggression, someone who can actually make plays in space and cover tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. That's exactly what the Dolphins were missing against Indianapolis. How do you justify keeping that weapon off the field? Greer may have handed out the contract to Dotson, but it's not Greer's job to put the best 11 on the field, it's Weaver's. And if he lets front office politics dictate playing time, this defense will never reach its potential. Same goes for the safety room. It's a pivotal moment for Dante Trader Jr. The kid is young, yes, but he's showing poise beyond his years. He's disciplined, instinctive, and he doesn't miss tackles. That's huge, especially for a Dolphins defense that missed too many last Sunday. Melifonwu, on the other hand, already looks like a liability. And if Trader Jr. continues to shine, the coaching staff can't afford to wait around and hope Melifonwu improves. This team has no time for second chances, not with the schedule they have and the expectations they're facing. Minkah Fitzpatrick needs a reliable partner back there. It's not about hurting feelings, it's about winning football games. And we can't ignore the big men up front. With Benito Jones out, the decision to elevate Zeke Biggers instead of relying on the proven snaps from Jordan Phillips feels like a head-scratcher. Yes, Biggers may be the exciting rookie with upside, but Phillips has already shown he can handle the load, especially against the run. He was active in week 1, he took those nose tackle snaps, and he held his ground. Biggers, inactive, and yet, here we are. Are the Dolphins playing with fire here? Because if New England pounds the rock and Miami can't hold the point of attack, fans will be questioning why Phillips didn't take the majority of those A-gap reps. So, here's the big picture. Miami's defense is at a crossroads. You've got young talent itching to break through. You've got missteps that need correcting. And you've got a coaching staff walking a tightrope between development and desperation. If they don't get this right in week 2, it's not just the fans who'll start turning on them, it'll be the locker room too. And I want to go back to this, Chris Greer. He's the elephant in the room. The guy still has a job, somehow, even though the roster imbalances are glaring. He's put a lot of pressure on Mike McDaniel and Anthony Weaver to make these pieces fit. But what happens when some of these pieces just flat out don't belong? When the front office is committed to players the coaching staff clearly doesn't trust, that's when teams implode. And I don't think anyone watching this wants that to happen. We've come too far, built too much promise, and there's just too much talent on this roster to fall apart over politics. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's a path forward. If Weaver makes the right calls, if McDaniel backs those decisions, and if the team rallies around this moment of adversity, they can turn this ship around. The Patriots are next, and they're not invincible. This is the week to show the world that week 1 was the wake-up call, not the beginning of a pattern. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Willie Gay Jr. will finally get the snaps he deserves? Should Dante Trader Jr. be the new starting safety? Is Zeke Biggers ready, or should it be Jordan Phillips stepping into Benito Jones' role? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every one. And if you made it this far, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video on the screen right now for more exclusive Dolphins content. I'll see you in the next one. Go Dolphins!